Hey guys, it's Maha, and today I am going to be going over how to do sheet swaps in Tableau. So sheet swaps, what they are is the user can click between what they want to see, and what they want to see are specific sheets. So for example, if you wanted to see a scatter plot, if you had a choice between a scatter plot, a line graph, and a bar chart, the user can click on, let's say, the scatter plot, and only the scatter plot will show. And if they change their mind, let's say they want to look at the line chart, the scatter plot will disappear and then only the line chart will show. It's similar to collapsible containers, but yeah, but the sheet swaps is we're doing it using parameters. So it will probably all make sense once like we've gone through this and you see the end result. So let's just go straight into it. So first things first, I have connected to Sample Superstore. So literally you can follow along as I do this tutorial. So the first things I'm going to do is, since we said scatterplot at the beginning, let's create a scatterplot. So I think I'm going to use profit to columns. I think sales. Yeah, and I think I will use product name on, yeah, detail. Okay, yeah, I like that. So very simple scatter plot. Oh, by the way, all of these graphs are random. You can use whatever graph that you want to do the sheet swap, but yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename my sheet 1 into scatter plot example 1. All right, so let's move on to the next one, which is a bar chart. Yeah, let's just do a bar chart then. Let's drag on subcategory onto rows. And should we look at the quantity? Why not? Yeah. So I'm going to click this button over here, which basically just means we're going to sort it from ascending to descending. So from highest to lowest, ascending. Yeah, no, descending from the highest to the lowest. Yeah. All right, so we are going to call this, should we call it bar chart example 2? Yeah, why not? And the last one, I said we'll do a line, didn't I? A line graph. Yeah, so we'll do that. So over here, we have order date. So we are going to right click and drag to column. So we will right click and drag, and that will create this drop down field. So if you can see here, all these blue ones are discrete dates, and all these green ones are continuous dates. And for this purpose, I'm just interested on the continuous month. So there we go. And I think we will look at, should we look at profit across? Yeah, I think this is a nice line graph, so let's just go with that. So I'm going to rename it to line chart example 3. All right. Okay, so we have 1, 2, and 3. So to create the sheet swaps, it's very simple. It's literally like 3 steps, but you just have to repeat them to every single sheet that you have. So the first things first is we are going to create a parameter. So we're going to click this drop down arrow over here, and we're going to say create parameter. So I'm just going to name this parameter sheet swap parameter. The data type is going to be a string. Current value 1, yes, current value, and we're going to say list. Now, the values that we're going to list here are actually going to be the names of our sheet. Okay, so the first one here is going to be scatter plot example 1. the second one is bar chart example 2, and the last one is line chart example 3. All right. Now, display as basically means what the end user will see when they have their drop down. So once we show our parameter, they'll see whatever your display as the drop downs. So I think in this case, we will just get rid of like the examples 1, all the examples 1, 2, and 3. So we just have scatter plot, bar chart, and line chart. Maybe I'll just say bar. Maybe, I don't know. I just think that looks a bit better, doesn't it? So we have scatter plot, bar, and line. So I'm going to press OK. Now, what we do here is we are going to show the parameter. And as we can see here, it is scatter plot, bar, and line. And since this is a scatter plot, we are going to say scatter plot. Now, the thing is with parameters, they do not act alone. They can't do anything by themselves. They need to be wired in. And in this case, we are going to use a calculated field to wire in that parameter and let it basically take action. So again, on this little drop down arrow, we are going to click on the create calculated field. I am going to name this sheet swap. Why not? And in here, in the calculated field, all we're going to do is put in our parameter that we just created. So we are going to call in the sheet swap parameter. And you know it's a parameter because it is purple. Yeah. All right. So we're going to click OK. So remember, the first thing we did was we have created a parameter. We've shown the parameter over here. We have our calculated field with our parameter in it. The last thing you're going to do is literally drag it to filters and select what the sheet name is called and press OK. Now we're going to do that for for bar chart example 2 and bar chart example 3. So let's do it again. It's the same steps. So we're going to go on our parameter. We're going to show our parameter. We are going to, so this is a bar chart, so I'm going to go to bar. It's important that you change this when you're before you've dragged on your calculated field. So we're going to find our calculated field and drag it on. Now, can you see, because I have changed that into a bar, it now shows me the name of the second sheet, and that's what we need to select. Okay, and again, the same thing. We're going to go to our parameter. We're going to show our parameter. It is line. And then we're going to go on our calculated field and drag it to filters. Select that. OK. So how do you know if it has worked yet? So before we put it into the dashboard, I just want to know if what I've done is correct or if it's working. So as we can see here, it says line, okay? So if I go, so essentially, because it is line, that means my bar chart and my scatter plot chart should disappear, because out of the 3, only one is selected for line, and that is this graph. So if I click on my bar chart, that should be empty, which is good. So we're on the right track. And if we click on scatter plot, that is also empty. So yeah, we've done it right. So we'll just check one more thing. So if I say bar, or should I say bar or scatter plot? Okay, let's say scatter plot. So our scatter plot should appear. Let me just do it as view full. We have a bar here. Let's just do it here. Yeah. So because it is scatter plot, our bar chart is no longer showing, and because and so isn't our line chart. So yeah, we know we're on the right. We know we're in the right path. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put it all into a dashboard. So we're going to click here to create a dashboard. So the thing is with sheet swaps, it's best that they're horizontal, they're in horizontal containers, because the sheet swaps are basically gonna like open horizontally. I can't really explain it well, but I think when you see it, you'll understand it better. So we're going to drag this horizontal container onto the field here, and we're going to drag in a blank as well. Now, we can put in our scatter plot, our bar, and our line. I think we have something empty here we can get rid of, but do not get rid of this because you're going to need it when you're switching between your charts or your sheets or whatever it is that you have. So the final last thing you need to do is for each sheet that you've brought on, you have to get rid of the, what's it called, the titles. So we're going to click this little drop down arrow. We're going to go to title here and we're going to untick it. So there you go. We're going to do that for all three of them. There we go. And there you have it. So what happens is we have the end user clicking, let's say they wanted to see their bar chart, and then the bar chart appears. And if they want a line and a scatter plot. So it does look similar to collapsible containers, but personally I think this is just really easy. Yeah, so it's just literally create one parameter, one calculated field, and you're done. So I actually have a blog written about this, which will be linked down below. And if you have, so you can follow through with this and yeah, tell me how you found it. And yeah, so that is my collapsible containers. Thank you.